Good evening. Many thanks for joining us on Business News this week. My name is Edidium Iba. A reminder that this broadcast is coming to you live on our Star Times platform, channel 103, and on Facebook and YouTube at NTA Uyo. Tonight's business news will review the activities of some businesses and how some business operators are coping with the high rates of inflation in the country, and which in turn is affecting prices of goods and services despite the notable gains of Naira in the capital market. These and more will come your way in the course of the program. My name is Ididi Omiba. Once again, thank you for joining us. A bit of the day's news first before we go to business news. In line with his commitment to the development of the blue economy in the state, Governor Moino has reiterated his administration's resolve for a robust working relationship with security agencies operating in the maritime domain. Governor Moino gave this assurance during a courtesy call on his office by the newly posted Flag Officer commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Said Akiwande. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Receiving the flag officer and his team, Governor Eno emphasized the importance of a fortified security network to the state's development. He reassures that his administration will continue to partner security agencies to help drive his Arise agenda across the state.
The blue economy, for it to succeed, the Nigerian Navy will play a whole lot of role. In fact, the most critical role, which is that of maritime security. And that will help build the confidence of our people, bring foreign investors, like you have already identified. And so we'll continue to want to partner with you. Before we came into office, we had lots of issues with our fishermen. They go to the sea, they take their boats, and to also show that we're serious about security, we had a different ministry of internal security and waterways so as to collaborate with the security agencies, have a smooth information flow that can help us. And we recorded some successes.
The flag officer commanding Eastern Naval Command, Rear Admiral Said Akiwande, in his remarks informed the governor that the command has stepped up its operations to enhance the socio-economic activities in the waterways, assuring that it will no longer be business as usual for economic saboteurs in the command.
Nigerian Navy ship Victory has increased from 2 to 6 the number of patrol boats along the Calabar-Oron-Ibaka corridors, while the Nigerian Navy ship Jubilee has continued to maintain a very robust presence within our area of operations. So all of these are geared towards ensuring that legitimate socio-economic activities are not hindered in any way for the good of the people of the state.
The flag officer was in the government house to pay a courtesy call on the governor following his assumption of duties. From the government house, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
The Akwa Ibom State Executive Council has received a memo proposing an increase of pension for those who retired before 2012. The memo was part of issues deliberated upon by the State Executive Council during its April meeting. Again, here is Kelvin Samuel.
Briefing government house correspondents shortly after the meeting, the Commissioner for Information in Mobong says that ministerial review has commenced with different ministries presenting the state of project or programs executed by them, while interim report on the Bompar Company highlighting critical issues were also presented to the council.
We received a report on the Dakada Skills Acquisition Center as presented by the consultant, Mr. Churchill Ludo, and ESCO received that report and forwarded it to a subcommittee for deliberation, which must be received, the report must be received by next week because of the desire of council to start that facility very quickly.
The governor presided over the meeting, which had in attendance Deputy Governor Secretary to State Government, Head of Civil Service, Commissioners and Special Advisors. From the Government House, Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Uyoku, a community in Uyo local government area of Akwa Ibom State, has been in darkness for over 4 months following vandalism of its 2 transformers by unknown persons. Dianime Uko visited the community and reports that other issues besetting the residents include deplorable roads, poor drainage system, insecurity, and lack of potable water.
Uyo Oku is one of the host communities of the University of Uyo Town campus and is accessed through Ikpa Road. The entrance to the community is the popular Udoite, a deplorable street where a small market, mostly patronized by students, is located. Other roads in the community are Ebong Esien, Akpanobong, Udelkong, Esieniyang, Okoniyang, Ekbobasi, among others. They are all in deplorable states. Uyoku community has 2 transformers. They are both vandalized and vital components stolen. The indigents narrate their ordeal.
This is making 4 times the vandalize the transformer. So we want to hear from the government.
We have bad road, very poor, that these are shut down. The development and how people will come in and do business with us.
As we support government, I want government to support us.
A community leader hints on efforts made at getting government's attention.
We declined council. We wrote a letter, applied to the governor. So, but up till now, we have not heard anything. So I want the government freedom from the federal, from the state, the local government, all to come and help.
Indigents of Uyo Oku community are hopeful that government will come to their aid. Dianime Uko, NTA News.
And President Bola Tinubu has signed into law the Student Loan Bill 2024. A statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, indicates that the act, which seeks to guarantee sustainable higher education and functional skill development for all Nigerian students and youths, was signed by the President on Wednesday, April 3, 2024. The statement further notes that the Repeal and Reenactment Act 2024 establishes the Nigerian Education Loan Fund and a corporate body that can sue or be sued. It empowers the funds to provide loans to qualified Nigerians for tuition fees, charges, and upkeep during their studies in approved tertiary academic institutions, vocational and skills acquisition centers. Applicants are to apply for loans to cover tuition and other fees payable to the school and maintenance allowance payable to the students. Meanwhile, Nigerians are expressing diverse views on the signing of the Students' Loan Bill into law by President Bola Tinubu. Some residents of Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, say with proper implementation, the Students' Loan Scheme will take financial burden off the students and their parents. Utibachiba, who monitor the situation here, reports.
Many Nigerian youths who are not able to further their studies up to tertiary level are out of school not because of poor academic performance, but the financial power to do so was not there. In most instances, many who lost their sponsors while in school are dropped out due to inability to pay fees. All this may soon end if the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, as signed by President Tinubu, is fully implemented.
Nigeria here, when are we going to get the job and then be able to pay back? So for me, grants would have been okay. Look at the situation today. As I'm talking to you now, the subsidy for fuel is not there, subsidy for electricity is not there. So for when will you be a man to be able to pay back your debt? So for me, grant is okay. So the government policy should be such that it would touch life positively, not this one that making life difficult.
Since it's about education, it should come as a grant.
Out loan to students, somebody may not be able to pay back, and that can cause a commotion to them, but they can run away from their academic.
Then will be finished school 13 years, 20 years, they will not have work to do. So I believe grant would be reasonable.
Professor Professor Charles Obot is an educationist, and like other Nigerians, he says a national bursary would have been a better option.
Nigeria were to be the country that it used to be up to the early 80s, whereby just few weeks to your graduation, you have multiple options or companies, organizations that are waiting for you to employ you. Then what would say, okay, no problem, go for the loan, knowing that you are guaranteed of resources to the intentment may be good, but the feasibility of that law is not for Nigeria and Nigerians of today.
Thing for the federal government to say students can access this loan and then go to school, especially those from very poor backgrounds. Indigent students can go to school, but the question here is, upon graduation, are these students really sure of employment? Are they sure of the means of livelihood in which they would actually have to use to pay back this money?
President Tinubu on Wednesday signed the student loan bill into law to offer financial assistance to Nigerian students in public tertiary institutions at the first instance. In Uyo, Utebe Achibon, NTA News.
Students from Platinum Regal Academy, situated behind Tropicana Shopping Mall in Udo-Udoma by Georgetown residents, embarked on an educational excursion to the Nigerian Television Authority NTA Uyo. The visit is part of the educational curriculum of the pupils to keep them abreast with the mode of operations of a broadcast organization. Victoria Fiong reports.
Under the guidance of Mr. Mfonobong Mofat, the Principal Administrative Officer, NTA Uyo, the pupils were warmly welcomed into the conference room at NTA and briefed on the history of the organization and functions of various departments that make up the NTA.
We are into a business of television production. Once you tune your television and you see the motion pictures we call visuals, and you hear the sounds, could be musical, could be somebody talking, we call the sound audio. That means somebody is at work.
Subsequently, Mr. Clemens Barikui, a reporter from the News and Current Affairs Department, engaged the pupils, enlightening them about intricacies of news gathering and dissemination. Staff from the Programs and Engineering Unit took turns to inform the pupils about how news and other forms of programs are edited from raw footage into finished programs, fit for transmission. Teachers and pupils speak on lessons achieved from the excursion.
What prompted us to bring our kids here is for them to come and learn and explore. At times they do sit at home and then be watching television. At times they are so curious to know how all this came to be. So that's one of the reasons we brought them here, so that they can see for themselves how this came to be.
It does not only ends in the classroom, but we go outside to learn. So we brought them here for them to know, though they've been watching NTA, they've been seeing, but they've not been there. So they are being here today is for them to see where the news is produced and also where the news is being broadcasted.
The young ones to know the areas of specialization where they are good and how they can showcase their different potentials embedded in them.
To get the news, they go to streets, churches and government events and edit the news forecasting.
Platinum Regal Academy is a co-educational outfit situated in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. In Uyo, Victoria Effiong, NTA News.
Now, he was a police officer with humane attributes, a strong advocate of peace and justice. This aptly describes the late David Chinyere-Maka Emejue, father-in-law of the Akwa Ibom State Commissioner for Information in Ememebong, who died at the age of 79. Wisdom Jacob reports.
This is Akanu High School grounds, Umuchima, Akanungwa, Ubunabo, local government area of Abia State, and people from all walks of life are here gathered to bid farewell to late retired Chief Superintendent of Police, Mr. David Chinyere-Maka Emejue. Representative of government and people of Akwa Ibom State, Monduko, described the demise of the father-in-law to Akwa Ibom sons as a colossal loss to the nation and his community.
We are happy and consoled in the fact that he lived a very good life, and that today his in-law, who is the commissioner in the cabinet, and his dear daughter are the ones organizing a befitting burial for him, not the other way around.
Please be consoled. From the story that we've heard, he was a good man. And we all know that there is the hope of eternal life through the special grace of God when we will meet to part no more.
Very peaceful. He was very calm. And we have lost him. But to God be the glory that it happened at the age of 70.
We have never had anything bad of him. He never disappointed us right from the school days.
A biography of the deceased indicates that he lived a dedicated life to the service of the nation, his community, and God. In his sermon, Joseph Obot of the World Mission International admonished the gathering to fight a good fight in their service to God in order to receive the crown of everlasting life. Family members speak on the life and times of the deceased.
He was a very humble person. He was very peaceful. He was a gentleman who was very observant. He would hardly speak, but if he spoke, he would speak very deep words. And he impacted positively on us.
He was a man of peace. He never liked any confrontations or any squabble with anybody. He just wants you to be at peace with everybody. And that's one thing I know I will live and still impact in my children too.
He's a man who likes peace. He's a man who makes peace. He doesn't like where there is trouble, and he ensures that wherever he is, he ensures that everybody is at peace.
He did not deny us any of our rights. Rather, whatever thing he has, he makes sure that he shares it to each every one of, not each every one of, even the community.
The funeral also featured police parade and presentation of the deceased items to the family as a memorial. Late David Emejuiwe is survived by many to mourn his demise, among whom is the Akwa Ibom State Commissioner for Information, Ine Memebong, and his wife. Wisdom Jacob, NTA News.
A break beckons. More news after. Stay with us.
God, Greg, you want to buy cough medicine again? Why haven't you gone for a test like I advised?
This your cough. You need to check Amo. When I had a bad cough, Madam told me to go for tuberculosis test. After the cough syrups didn't work, they discovered I had tuberculosis. After the free test, I was even treated for free. Now I'm fine.
Solomon is right. Oga Greg, check Amo. Make you dey sure, because who no go, no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check Amo, make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB test and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 or dial *3340# for more information. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Enjoy the delicious creamy goodness of cowbell with Vitarich and vitamin B9, which supports brain development.
Cowbell, so creamy, so good.
Oga Paul, now another cough medicine you want buy, so why you no go do the test where I say make you go do?
Oga, make you go check this your cough. The last time I get this kind of cough when no gree go. Now madam here tell me say make I go do test. Where all the cough syrup where they drink no gree work. Then come do me free test. And it can show say I get tuberculosis. The medicine when they give me all na free. Now see I don't well campaign.
Now true Callisto stop. Go check Amo. Make you dey sure, because who no go, no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check Amo, make you dey sure. If cough don't worry you past 2 weeks, if it be tuberculosis, TB test and treatment, na free. Just call the National TB Hotline for 3340 or dial *3340# to get better information. This message now from the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people then.
Thank you for still staying tuned. This is Business News on NTA Channel 12. We are now to the rest of the news. Nigerians in Uyo Metropolis have continued to lament the daily increase on food items in the markets. Wasayan Ekpeyon, who interacted with some buyers and sellers, say they are witnessing low patronage.
Early, the cost of living continues to go beyond the reach of many Nigerians, with business operators and their customers groaning with a harsh economy. Among dealers on food items, there is low patronage as the purchasing power of many residents nosedives steadily. Mostly affected by the inflation rate in recent times are the low-income earners, who barely eat 2 square meals a day.
Everybody, this one is as clear as day now. Everybody knows that the thing is very bad now. Like as I'm coming here today, now tomorrow I'll come here and they'll say the price has changed, it has increased. It will not decrease, it's always increasing. So that is how it is, that is how bad it is.
When I joined this business many years ago, like 2016, there are products that have increased more than 5 times of the price before. So like the big tape then was 6,850. Now it's 22,500. So now many people cannot afford it.
If you budget that you are coming to buy a particular product at a price, just have it at the back of your mind that you are going to see a different price, because companies bring out prices per second, per minute, per day. And most of the times we just get confused on which price to sell.
Like where's this price now? A bag is 85,000 a bag. Then all this local one, way Sunday, that one 45,000. All those things, like prices are high now.
The low patronage seems to be affecting every business as dealers appeal for an immediate intervention.
They should find a way to make the exchange rate to abeg. It's too much now. $1.5 is too mumuch. They should make a look for how can June 29th dollar was around 600 and something. Just within 7-8 months. It's too bad now. It's very, very bad. That's doubled.
Government should consider number one, the fuel subsidy removal. Many factors should have been considered first before. But nevertheless, the price have already increased. The government should look into it by maybe considering building refineries or putting them to work.
Expect government to bring everything down, to open border, first to open border. So that all this foreign rice, we support all this Nigerian rice, everything gonna be fine. Then decrease the price of fuel so that we will know what to do.
The situation forced human rights activist Femi Falana, SAN, to approach the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos to direct the federal government to fix and control the prices of some items in line with Section 4 of the Price Control Act, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. Some of the items affected by the court order include bicycles and spare parts, flour, matches, milk, motorcycles and spare parts, motor vehicles and spare parts, salt, sugar, and petroleum products including diesel, fuel, and kerosene. Some Nigerians are hopeful that with the intervention of government in controlling prices of these commodities in the market, there will be some relief to most families in the country. In Uyo, Abasi Anyang Ekpeyon, NTA News.
Similarly, increasing cost of food commodities in Nigeria is a source of worry to Nigerians, and some experts blame the rippling effects of government's policies as reason for almost a skyrocketing of prices of goods and services. It affects Nigerians, analysts describe as a call for concern as Nigerians advocate better food policies to cushion its effects. Evelyn Baduekbo reports.
The rising cost of foodstuff and services is taking its toll on Nigerians, and Akwa Ibom is not an exception, with prices of commodities soaring and becoming far from reach of the poor. On daily basis, traders literally struggle with exchange rates to purchase goods for sale.
When I joined this business many years ago, like 2016, there are products that have increased more than 5 times of the price before. So like the pig tape then was 6,850. Now it's 22,500.
If you budget that you are coming to buy a particular product at a price, just have it at the back of your mind that you are going to see a different price, because companies bring out prices per second, per minute, per day. And most of the times we just get confused on which price to sell.
Likewise, this rice now, per bag is 85,000 a bag.
And that's so much we can take on our business news this week. Thank you for being a part of it. Join us again, same time, same station next week, God willing. Don't forget to be a star. Join NTA's campaign to stand against rape and other forms of gender violence. My name is Edidio Miba. Have a beautiful night rest. Good night.